Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're watching us from. And welcome back to my YouTube channel where we look at HR issues, how to handle them in the workplace so that we can have a healthy and a worthy workplace. So today we'll be looking at how do managers handle conflicts in the workplace. Because in our workplace, the truth is that people must quarrel. The teeth and the tongue quarrel. So if you're expecting that if in the workplace you will not quarrel, or you'll be lying to yourself. So we know people will quarrel, but the issue that we want to look at is how will a HR manager handle these issues or this conflict that may arise in workplace to make sure that the workplace is very healthy, very wealthy, and conducive for all of us to work in. The first thing that you should do as a HR manager, there are several of them, so it's not like I outline them in any order of importance, but these are just few things I think you should be doing if you want to have a healthy place, a place that is work conflict free. Not that it is totally free, but at least where there is healthy relationship in the workplace. So as a manager, what are some of those things that you're supposed to do if you want to make sure that people in your office they quarrel and then that everything still goes back to normal? The first thing is that you must have a clearly state out conflict resolution policies, and that policies must be made known to everybody working with you that these are the ways that we should handle any conflict in the workplace. Write it plainly and make it bold for everybody in your team to know how conflict should be handled in the workplace. And once you have had that, find out that it is easier, even when you are not around, for conflict to be resolved in your absence. Number two is that if you encourage open dialogue or open communication in your workplace, you find that you'll be creating a culture where everybody will be safe to express their concerns or their hurts or whatever it is that is troubling them. They will come to you or they go to their colleagues or everybody, they will be able to pour out their mind to say this is what is hurting me. And once be able to copy it, be able to tell the other person don't do this, be able to tell this other person this is what you're supposed to do. You will even be able to let the other person know, okay, you have heard this person say sorry and all those. And so conflict will not be building, and then you will not have so much unhealthy workplace to work in. Also, what else do you need to do? You have to actively manage all the power dynamics in your workplace. Ensure that at every point in time, every voice in that organization is heard. Nobody should be shut down. Nobody should be threatened. Nobody should collect the blame. Nobody should be, talked down on. Nobody should be shouted down on. When it's time to talk, allow every voice to speak, not just the loudest ones, because some people are so loud that if you are not careful you just hear their own, you won't hear the other ones. So every voice should be heard, even if that voice is saying nonsense, hear it, because out of that nonsense you may pick one or two things that is very very important. Then from there you can then begin to see this is what it is, this is how we're going to resolve it, this is what we need to stop, and this is not what we don't need to stop. By the time you shut some people down, you don't want them to talk. You want to, at every time you are blaming them, at every time you are not allowing them to talk, you are shouting them down. They will keep whatever it is that they want to express in their voices, and they will keep it down. They will not. And what happens? They will build in so much resentment for the other people, and they will want to find a way to hurt back whoever has hurt them. And that way you are building on healthy workplace. So allow people to aid their views, allow people to have their voice heard, allow all the power dynamics that is playing to have a voice to speak, whether they are the junior colleagues or the senior colleagues. Everybody should have a voice when there are issues to speak how it happened, and then listen, and then you can then from there know what next to do. Another thing that will help you as a manager also is to begin to reward people who has responded very well to this conflict. People that have, and within your team, that have responded well to the conflict, they have managed conflict very well. Try and reward those ones very very well, because remember, you have a policy that you have put, some which you have made known, you have written it boldly. So whoever it is that is handling this, that is using this policy to handle conflict very well in that organization, Please, such people should be rewarded. Such people should be made to have some, hand clappings, pat at the back, or whatever gift it is. That way, you'll be sending a signal to others that they should reward, they should manage conflict very, very well, so that they also will receive those rewards that comes with managing conflict very well. That way you will be building a healthy place, because everybody will know, if I do the right thing, if I manage this conflict very, if I manage my anger very well, if I'm able to not to allow the other person to pull me down, if I'm able to allow the other person to talk, and then these things are resolved before it escalates into a big conflict that will harm the organization, and then people will begin to do it and say, okay, there's something for me at the end of the day. If there's something for most people, they may not. They want to take their pound of flesh back from the other person, and that is not healthy for us. Then, like I said before, listen to people, not just allowing them to have a voice. Listen to them. Focus on issues that they are bringing to the table, not on the person. It doesn't matter whether you like that particular person, whether that person is in your camp, because in every office politics will play out, whether we like it or not. Whether the person is in your camp, the person is your good book or not your good book. Please, um, allow people talk, and don't focus on them. Focus on the issue at hand. What is the bone of contention? What is happening? What is it that is done that is bringing this conflict? And then you begin to put it on table, and begin to make sure that equally everybody that need to be blamed, anybody that need to receive punishment, anybody that need to be spoken to, anybody that need to be appealed to, should be appealed to. So don't focus on the person. Don't say, this person that I know is you now, you that is always very stubborn. I know it's you that I called the other day, you didn't answer me. I know it will always be you. No, don't focus on the person. Focus on the issues, and begin to resolve those issues as it be. Also, responsibly deal with the issues, and do not allow any issue to degenerate. Every issue that they have spoken of, not the person, that you know that these are the things that is causing this conflict in the workplace, please tackle that issue immediately. Speak to it, deal with it, correct it. Make sure that all those things are put to the right, how do I put it, that those things are handled immediately the way it should be handled. And then try to nib it at the bud immediately. Don't allow it to escalate to the point that it will not be very, very difficult. If you need to call for meetings, if you need to call for second meeting, third meeting, you need to sit on a round table to discuss it. You need to whatever you need, if possible. If you need to bring a mediator to come and sit and mediate between these people, those mediators maybe are just a line manager, you have a superior manager that can also come in to talk to them, or you have an ED, or you have an MD, those people that you know that these people will listen to, they will hear, that is higher than you can bring them in. Don't allow any issue to get to that stage where all of us, nobody wants to hear again, because you have allowed that little opening to become a big wound that everybody is now looking for how to take back their pound of flesh. So please, if you're able to do these little things in terms of how to handle conflict in the workplace, you find that you'll be able to create a very wealthy and a healthy place for your team to work in. And once your team or any team that you belong to, or the branch or the department or the company is working in a healthy and conflict, or minimize, because we cannot say they'll be conflict free. If you manage it very well, you minimize it, and then the conflict may even be conflict free, because once you handle it very well, you find that your productivity will increase and your profitability as an organization will increase. So that's why we are saying, please, managers, make sure you manage conflict very well. If you're able to apply these little things I've said this day, you find that your organization will be a very great place to work in. Thank you, and see you in next edition, where we'll be looking at some other HR issues and how to handle them, and make sure that your organization is the best place to work in. Till then, please help us share, help us subscribe, and help us tell other people to subscribe to this YouTube channel. God bless you.